What's happening? How you doing? Welcome back, or this might be your first time listening. Either way, I'm none iller. And this is Mogul Mined. This is where you get life-changing gems through motivational minds. Today I want to talk about honesty and transparency. I want to talk about the importance of that with yourself. I think we're at a time now where it's so important to impress other people. Everything that shows you how to be something tells you to impress other people. Whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, let's name 18 different social media accounts. You get my point. Whether you're in the office, whether you work at a warehouse, on your job at any different time, you're around with your family, you're around with your significant other, you're in front of your kids, you out in an environment that maybe you might be one off and a rare specimen in that environment. Wherever you are, there's always that idea of that you need to impress people. You could be around your friends. Yeah, you feel like you gotta impress them, or you gotta big up a certain story. But why? The lack of comfort with self is where a lot of that comes in. Because the feeling of needing to be accepted is something that doesn't really go away. Being transparent with yourself is one of the most difficult things you will encounter in your life. Because it's constant. Because you have to do it every single day. The hardest part is when you do it at the very first step, because this is what you face. You think of everything that happened before and you try to connect some dots, right? How did I get here? How much of it is my fault? How much of it am I ignoring that is my fault? How much did I contribute to my success, my failures, my burned relationships? That honesty is very important to your growth. Because that's how you grow. How do you become better? You realize where you messed up. And there's some paths that you are on that you don't even realize you didn't connect. You didn't connect why you lost that job. You didn't connect why you stepped away. You didn't connect why it just didn't work out for you. Just sit down and ask yourself. People have different methods and approaches to this. Sometimes they look at where they are now and just say, okay, how did I get here today? How did I make it to this day in 2022, whatever the case? Some look back at situations. I was really going through it, last year, last relationship, last job. Where did it start to crumble? Some look at situations as they are happening. All right, like, I feel this is where I should be. I feel this is where I'm at. This is what's going on. Some feel it in their current space. Is this job too much for me? Or am I just not giving enough? Your biggest enemy and your best friend is yourself. If you're not hard on yourself, other people being hard on you will hurt you because you've softened up on yourself. If you are hard on yourself and you tough, anything someone says to you is either going to be like, okay, cool, I know this. It's reinforcing what I think. It's going to motivate you. Or it just may just be like, okay, yeah, y'all can't do much to me that won't empower me more. Someone being negative to you won't even faze you, because guess what? You've been fighting yourself and your own demons. And when you behind yourself, there's nobody that can make your head bigger, because you know what you bring to the table. You are confident. The only thing someone can do is show you the way to get better. But if you don't have that strength within yourself, if you haven't been real and transparent with yourself, others have the power to change your emotions and trajectory that you have. You remember back in like high school, or if you're in high school now or middle school, whatever, just think back a time back to when you had to impress somebody, right? Remember that test you didn't score as high as you wanted to? What about that time you were in class and you wanted to read, but you didn't know that word, so you just skipped it because you don't want to be embarrassed? What about that time you were out and you know you were eating right because you were working out and everything, and you just had a night of drinking, and y'all hit up the night restaurant wherever you are? Some people was Denny's, some people was the Waffle House, some people was a Mexican food restaurant, some people was 7-Eleven, whatever your 24-hour spot or go-to meal, your comfort meal after drinking. And you know you've been on your case for eating right. But there's that pressure when you're out. You lost focus, and, being intoxicated doesn't help too much. But other people are getting everything you're not supposed to have. What's your next move? The majority are going to get something that someone else has, or something along those lines. You ain't going to keep to what you've been doing because you don't want to be that oddball out. That's a deep situation, but let's make it deeper. Why are you in that situation in the first place? If you were true and honest with yourself, you wouldn't have to be in predicaments where you got to compromise what you've been doing and working on so hard for the longest. When you are true and transparent with yourself, when you are real with yourself, other people tend to respect it so much that they know what boundaries not to push with yourself. Not to push with you. And also, you know what? Your happiness and idea of happiness shifts too. You don't feel you have to update everybody with what's going on. You don't feel like you have a point to prove against everyone, because you wake up and you just be dope. I encourage you to be transparent with yourself. This is how you start. When you're done listening to this, wherever you are, there's a mirror somewhere. If you're in your car listening, you got the mirror right up in the front, right above the driver's seat, right above the steering wheel. Fold down that mirror in your visor. If you at home, you got mirrors. Go to your bathroom, you have a mirror. If you're out and about and you're listening to this while you want to go, while you're running around, you got a selfie camera, you have a mirror. There should be no excuse to this being activated. Right when I'm done with this, take a second. Even if you mouth it, maybe you're out somewhere and you can't talk, but I want you to have this moment of power. I want you to have this moment of knowledge for yourself. Look into that reflective device, mirror, phone, whatever the case, and say, I believe in you. I trust you. I'm going to do what's best for you, but mean it. I believe in you. I trust you. I'm going to do what's best for you. And try to just implement the transparency you can. Because you never want to advance not being yourself. You never want to build a life not being yourself. Because the moment you be yourself, it's like those old Disney movies. Remember Aladdin? When bro wasn't himself and they found out, he lost everything. Don't lose everything. Be so real with yourself that you hold yourself accountable when you execute. Y'all know what y'all tuned into. It's not my job to go soft on you. It's my job to empower you. It's my job to let you know what it's like in the mind of a mogul, in the mind of someone who has to go through these trainings and stuff daily, in the mind of someone who has to face reality. You do too. And whatever way you do it, I'm proud of you. Just do it. Because you can. I hope you didn't forget what I told you to say. I believe in you. I trust you. I'm doing it for you. I'm signing off. This is today's moment of knowledge. Hashtag moment of knowledge. Hashtag Mogul Mined. Whatever the case. Go be dope.